Hello everyone and welcome back. We are live for the race here at round 3 of Extreme GT at Watkins, Glen. I am your host Josh Eifert, or XPR Forbidden, and joining me in the booth as usual is Matthew 4, or our XPR Project. Looks like everybody's just getting ready to get loaded in, so momentarily we will be jumping in with our starting grid. And Matt, I think you've got the grid up, so let us know how everything went.
Alrighty, so in round 3 of Extreme GT here at Watkins Glen, in the GTX class, the pole position will be LRT Stubbsy. He posted a 141.471, followed by teammate LRT Breeze with a 141.558. Third will be GSR Roadrunner with a 142.426. From here on out, I'm not going to say the numbers, I'll say who's where. Mr. Stepanoff is going to be starting in 4th. Our own XPR Roadrunner is going to be starting 5th. Also, our own XPR Chicane is going to be starting 6th. And then, following out the GTX is going to be Mr. T at number 7. In the GT class, Zapsies took the pole with a 149.583. He is followed by LMR Hybrid, who posted a pretty close lap time to his own. Third will be a Blue Ninja Bear. 4 is going to be Lone Wolf 8664, followed by Desert Penguin, Ferrari Fanatic, Newfie Magic 37, and Stug 77. Looks like might have a couple issues in game.
Are they restarting?
I'm not sure. They might be restarting.
Might have some connection problems here.
Could be.
But we will hang tight and see what's going on. Apologies.
These things do happen. While they're in lobby, though, we have assembled a little bit of a multi-twitch, if you will. It's going to be hosting all the drivers that are live streaming the event today. It's a total of 4 other drivers. Our channel's also included. I'm going to post the link there for you now. If you want to watch all the streams at once, plenty of viewing goodness, click that link. It'll you can check out all the chats. You can pretty much do everything you can in Twitch. That's a pretty cool tool. Shout out to Turn for showing that. Looks like they're heading back into the race here, and in 10 seconds we'll be back in lobby. Always a little bit of a fun road bump, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Contact at the back of the pack. That's how I restarted. Oh, thank you for that, Rob. I definitely didn't see it, so I appreciate the shout out there.
Okay, Matt, I think we're waiting for you to spectate here. So we'll give it another go. And what we'll do is we'll give you a quick rundown of the grid order. Don't need to go through it quite as elaborate.
My Xbox seems to have frozen. Awesome.
Well, that's not good.
Alright, there we go. I think we're good now. That was awkward. Blue Ninja Bear! Dude, I love your name. This is like meeting a real-life celebrity. Shout out, man. Good luck today.
Okay, so it looks like they are back in game. So we'll quickly just rerun down the order. Matt, do you want to do it, or you still got it up?
I can do it again. Starting off, the pole position in the GTX class is going to be LRT Stubbsy. He posted a 141.471, followed by teammate LRT Breeze with a 141.558, and GSR Roadrunner will be starting 3rd with a 142.426. Mr. Stepanoff will be starting 4th. XPR Roadrunner will be starting 5th. XPR Chicane is going to be 6th. And then Mr. T is going to be 7th. And that rounds out the GTX class. In the GT class, Stubbsy took the pole with a 1...
Zapsy.
What did I say?
Stubbsy.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Zapsy. They're pretty close.
Yeah.
Zapsy with a 149... Zapsy. Just so everybody knows, Zapsy. 149.583. Followed by LMR Hybrid with a 149.861. And then Blue Ninja Bear with a 150.751. Lone Wolf will be 4th. Desert Penguin is 5th. Ferrari Fanatic 6th, Newfie Magic 7, and Stug will be starting in the 8th position. So that's the GT class.
Alright, so we have 15 cars, 7 GTX, 8 GTs, and let's get on board as they are in the middle of their warm-up lap, pace lap. And I will get myself resorted, and hopefully happens before the beginning of the race.
I will holler at ye, as they say. Looks like Zapsy's starting strong here. Still early in the race, but he's got a... Well, actually, no, the Volvo is actually pretty close behind him right now, but... Sorry, Josh, carry on.
Well, it looks like the front three have sort of broken away here at the on lap 1, resuming the fight that went about the entire length of the COTA race, as LRT Stubbsy, LRT Breeze, and GSR Roadrunner have broken a slight gap. Can't quite tell exactly how much it is, but looks like the two LRT guys are trying to get away. They're probably going to try to work together, and then we'll see what they do when they're out on their own, if they can pull any gap from GSR Roadrunner, who has been extremely strong on fuel throughout this entire series. So we'll see how things go as we ride on board with them as they complete lap 1. And they are getting super aggressive on these curves, especially on turn 1.
A little bit of contact in the GT class.
Oh, really? Who's that?
Newfie got hit from behind. I can't tell who it was. It might have been Desert Penguin, maybe. Held together though. Doesn't look like anybody is worse for wear on it. But just looking at the multi-twitch.
As they're coming through to complete the first lap, GT looks fairly close. Maybe Zapsy might have pulled out a gap, but Newfie Magic in that new Golf McLaren, very orange. I like it.
It is very colorful.
So something doesn't look... Oh, maybe okay. It looks like Hybrid and Zapsy may well be on their way away from this pack. But it definitely looks like there's a battle forming up here. As they head onto the back straight, you can see the Mercedes there closing up the gap on the McLaren as they head into the bus stop. But he backs out of it. Pretty smart maneuver. 2x2 through the bus stop is not easy. It looks like the McLaren's taking the outside line here, maybe trying to keep the momentum as he closes in on Ferrari Fanatic. Looks like we got somebody in the wall. It's one of the Mercedes. That would be, that's got to be Stug. No, that's not Stug. Where's Stug? What happened to him? Huh, he's way back. I wonder what happened to him. I wonder if he's okay. Car looks okay. Oh, but we need to find this Mercedes. It was Lone Wolf, actually. Apologies. And we'll bring up his telemetry and see what kind of damage he incurred, if any. Looks like he made it through okay, so good for him. It was just a spin. So he's going to have some ground to make up. As we'll head back to the front of the field. Not sure what's going on. Let's jump on board with LRT Breeze.
He and teammate Stubbsy are pulling away. They are at 1-2 right now, and believe GSR Roadrunner is third. Yeah, but watching Stubbsy and Breeze right now, I can't see anybody with them.
No, I don't see anyone with them either. They're taking some different lines through here, and maybe that's to keep it clean, but it's like Breeze is just holding position. They probably just want to try and work together as much as they can to separate. So let's go a little bit further back into the GTX field and jump on board with Mr. Stepanov. So it looks like there's a 3-car battle here with XPR Roadrunner, Mr. Stepanov, and it looks like XPR Chicane behind him.
We've commented on Mr. Stepanov's livery before, but that is a good-looking, funkadelic sort of livery. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Good.
And Mr. T, the new entry into the GTX class, is rocking the same style, just different colors.
Now, Josh, quick question for you. The GTX class, any benefit to the draft here? Any fuel economy might play into it, or?
The only place I would think would be the back straight. Coming through the S's, if you can get a good run onto the back straight, you could probably tuck up and lift a little bit. But it's kind of, what we've seen is it's up to the tunes. I mean, GSR Roadrunner has been consistently either able to or willing to push 1 lap, usually on stint 1, and then 2 to 3 laps on the rest of the stints. Last round at Coda, actually Breeze had to take a 4th pit stop, still managed to get the win, but was probably a lot closer than he would have liked it to be. Looks like we've got some lag going on.
Yes.
I certainly hope that's lag, otherwise we've got a dead driver. Well,
yeah,
like
somebody just took out a tire wall.
Yeah,
must have just been some kind of network issue, though, because
yeah, that would have been Mr. Stepanov, but
good lord.
I mean, looks like his light is busted out, but he doesn't. I'm not showing any damage, so we're gonna go with that. It was just lag. So let's. Looks like these three are starting to separate a little bit. Looks like XPR Roadrunner is getting away a little bit. So let's go check out our newest GTX car, and then Mr. T made the bump up from GT. He was in GT for the first 2 rounds and decided to get up into GTX to allow Desert Penguin, I believe, a ride in the GT car, who filled in at Circuit of the Americas. And he looks like he's just kind of on his own for the moment, so maybe that wasn't the greatest pick. So let's see where Zabsies is at.
I'm actually watching him right now. He's got LMR Hybrid fairly close behind him in that Volvo. The telemetry from his stream is showing it as a couple hundred feet. It looks farther away in the spectator mode, but that just could just be the spectator mode being deceiving. Yeah, there's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Zabsi has been very consistent here with I believe a 2nd place in round 1, and then took the win from pole in round 2. Hopefully LMR Hybrid can catch him and make this a battle. He definitely needs the challenge. So
a little bit of a battle here for position with Newfie Magic and Desert Penguin, it looks like.
Alright, let's jump.
I believe Desert Penguin was in the Mercedes. It's a little bit close.
Yeah, he's in the white Star Wars car as they head out in turn 1 and getting ready to head up through the S's.
It's a good-looking Merc.
It is.
2 good-looking cars.
Oh, it looks like a little bit of contact there. Forces Penguin out wide, but it didn't hurt him too much. Does he get the run, and does he try to make the move here on the back straight heading into the bus stop?
Josh, while you watch this, I will skip forward to the front of the pack. I'll let you know if I see anything, but I just want to see where our LRT boys are and see how they're holding things down.
Yeah, what would be interesting to see is if they can get away. The lead two cars, the LRT cars, is if they decide to swap positions and give Breeze the win. I think with the points, doesn't really matter, so they might race it to the end, or be interesting to see what kind of approach they take. Is it looks like Penguin's got some opportunities if it decides to take him. That McLaren is dancing a little bit over the track, so if he decides to push it, or maybe he's just trying to wait for the mistake, but we'll ride on board here and see if this develops. They are definitely very close now.
Just an update on the front of the pack. LRT, Stubbsy, and Breeze are well away from third place, which I believe is GSR Roadrunner. I wish I could see the stats here. It's in the neighborhood of about 500 feet. I actually need the multi-twitch to be bigger.
Yeah, it looks like GSR Roadrunner is holding in third position. So, and the McLaren gets a little loose onto the front straight. That is not a good place to get loose. Looks like Penguin is up the inside. He's going to try and make it. He'll be on the inside for turn one. Who's going to outbrake who?
Oh.
And still side by side. The McLaren carries more speed but runs wide. He is actually gone. No, there he is.
Oh, that was a little close.
He was gone from my view, but I guess he just took the wide line, the runoff line.
GSR Roadrunner had a little bit of a close call with some slower traffic, I believe.
Are they already lapping traffic? Wow.
I believe he caught up with Stug and had to run a little wide to avoid contact there. It was a little close. He had to run to the inside line. And when I say inside, I mean inside line.
Yeah, it looks like Stug got a real bad start, or something happened on lap 1 that we weren't able to catch, and put him a ways back. But this battle is raging right now between the Mercedes and the McLaren. Desert Penguin, his second round, is trying to make a statement here. To answer your question, Electronic Guy, they were on the storefront. If you search gamertag XPR Roadrunner, XPR Space Roadrunner, you should find the required number boards and stickers and everything like that. I don't know if they're still up, but go have a look, and they might be there.
Or they might not.
Or they might not. Who knows? He is the organizer, and I'm not sure. I think he left him up because we are taking reserve entries still. So I think they're still up. And it looks like in the midst of that, it looks like Newfie was able to get away a little bit in the McLaren. So it looks like this has settled down for now. So let's see what Lone Wolf is up to.
Banner. That's pretty much what we're known for.
About all we're known for. Yeah, and it looks like Lone Wolf has just gone down to the LRT cars. They're so close together, I can just call them as one.
They are pretty quick.
Yeah, they definitely look like they've taken and run with it.
They are... Well, hang on. Looks like they are about 1,000-ish feet in front of third place, which is GSR Roadrunner. Actually, Roadrunners are 3 and 4, GSR and XPR. Which I believe XPR Roadrunner is about... Looks like in the realm of 1,700 feet.
Yeah, it looks like, other than the other two, a fair bit of spreading out has gone on the GTX cars. As it looks... I believe, yeah, that's GSR Roadrunners getting ready to catch Lone Wolf now. And we'll see how this plays out. I mean, Roadrunner's got some ground to make up. He can do it. If anybody can do it, he can do it. But we'll see how this goes. Quick shout out to all the viewers, and you are watching Extreme GT Round 3 live here at Watkins Glen. Any information you want to look at on this series, builds, media, other things, as Lone Wolf gets a little sideways and drifts a little bit, head over to theultimateracing.network.com and you will find a... Oh, brother. Okay, I think that's more lag. Oh god, Sebanov is scaring me to death right now. Chicane was right behind him, and then he just went off into the wall. But he's back on track. Anyway, theultimateracing.network.com. Head to the Turn Community Series, and you'll find Extreme GT. We do have one more round left at Hockenheim in 2 weeks. So if this interests you, we all are taking reserve entries. We'd definitely like to have a full grid out there in 2 weeks' time for the finale. So even if you're not going to win, if you just want to come out, have some fun, hop in one of these cars. We'll be talking about it throughout the race because it is an hour and 45-minute race, 3 to 4 pit stops, and we inevitably do have some lulls in the action. But right
and
now,
some lulls. There's my throw-in for the day.
Thank you. And right now, it looks like one of the only battles I can find is Chicane versus Stepanov, which with Stepanov's
GSR runner spinning off the track.
Is he really?
Nope, he held it together. That was a good save. I don't know how he pulled it off. Of course, we're a little bit behind him because I'm looking at the multi-twitch here, but that was a really good save on his part. I'm really glad I caught it way behind, but he's incurred a little bit of front-end damage, but he looks alright. I don't know if that's from the spin, though.
If you can tell, has that brought him back to XPR Roadrunner?
He's about 800 feet in front.
Okay, so he's still got a
sizable gap.
He did well to catch that then, very well. As Chicane is very close here to Mr. Stepanov, and we'll see if they decide to make a move. They should be catching lap traffic soon, and if this series has showed us anything, the lap traffic can decide some of these battles of the faster cars. So we're just going to sit here for a minute and then see what develops, because it doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. As they head onto the front straight, it looks like, there's, I think that's Lone Wolf.
Electronic guy said you signed up for it on the Turn website. We'll have to look it up, because hopefully we're going to have a full field next week, whether it's teams or even just some privateers running for the season finale. Hopefully we can get you in, because we want it to be a full field. It's more fun with more cars. The more, the merrier, you might say.
To answer your newest question, as they, go by the Mercedes in the bus stop. That was brave, Chicane. Very brave. But well done. Didn't lose any ground at all. He caught the Mercedes at the braking zone of the bus stop and went through, and it looks like he made a dive, but stays put. You would have to check with Turn, the Ultimate Racing Network. They have a number request thread, and they have a forum where you can see available numbers. I don't know offhand. We are just running this series. It's being hosted on Turn, but it's being run by Extreme Performance Racing. We are a team that races with Turn. So you would have to talk with those guys. If anybody from Turn is here and has the time, if you could send a link, go ahead and post a link to the section of the forum. I greatly appreciate it. I don't have the screen space to do so. As we're staying on board here with Chicane, and let's actually change this up a bit. Let's jump on board with him and ride on his hood and see how he decides to approach this. As I say that, he seems to lose a little bit of ground coming out of the last turn. Well, then they will let you know. And Stepanov has got some serious connections going on. Maybe it's me. I do know we have a few streamers in the lobby, so I'm not sure what's going on. But it's a little crazy here.
I actually looked at the Turn number registration, and I believe 928 is not taken. So if you have applied for that one, I would believe you would get it unless somebody else in front of you applied for it, which I don't believe anybody did. So, not going to say one way or the other because that's not my position. But I believe 928 is available.
Sounds good. So there you go. Well
hopefully
done, Matt. Thank you.
Do a little background check.
Looks like we've got a gaggle up front. I'm not sure what the heck is going on up there. It looks like, I don't know if that's one of the GTX cars passing some people. We gotta figure out what's going on over there, because I will tell you that Stepanov
is that a trademark infraction?
giving me a headache here. And it looks like the GTX cars are right about 20% of fuel, so we expect pit stops to start here in the next couple laps.
Oh boy, XPR Roadrunner.
Oh, and saying that, it looks like the action has come to a head there with Newfie and Desert Penguin.
Yes, it has. They are side by side. Oh,
Desert Penguin is
contact.
actually ahead now of Newfie. He got it done. Little hip check it looked like. But we are racing.
That is a lot of tires. Tires
and it looks like Chicane just dove off into the pits there. So we have our first pit stop, maybe. Other people may have pitted before. I'm trying to look now, but this battle isn't over. Don't want to take away from this.
That might be a really early pit stop, too. Based on the timer, we are roughly not quite 20 minutes in yet. So,
well, they're at about 20%, and they usually use about 6 to 8% per lap, so we'll see how that goes. But this battle is still going on as Newfie is going to try and fight back on Desert Penguin up here at the back straight as they head into the bus stop. He ended up having to go wide again on turn 1. It looks like he got a great line through the bus stop. And if he could just keep it together, he's gonna close the gap. It looks like he's doing that as we speak. So we'll see if he makes the move back, maybe returns the little hip check favor. So, and also thank you, Captain Morgan, for the belt check on the number situation.
a little bit of an update on the leaders here, the LRT team. God, these streams are so small. They have about a 1,700-foot lead on third place. So, a little over a quarter of a mile, is that correct? I'm not a mathematician, I don't know these things.
Yeah, but we'll see again what GSR Roadrunner does with his pit stops.
True.
Because he's been taking a very interesting approach to him.
He actually just checked his telemetry. And actually, while they do, hopefully I don't screw myself up here by trying to do this. Here we go. I'm going to try looking at and see where our leaders are on fuel.
It looks like Mr. Sepanov, another GTX car, has just gone into the pits. So, GTX pit stops are ongoing.
Yeah, it looks like our leaders should have to pit this time around. Stubbsy's is in single digits, and so is Breeze. So they probably have this lap left, and then they will have to hit the pits, I would assume. And GSR Roadrunner, he has more gas, more fuel than the leaders. So he is running perhaps a little bit more conservatively and saving a little bit of fuel. He can do maybe one more lap, finishing up the lap he's on now. So he'd have to push it, but he could do it.
He's definitely got that car set up to sip on the gas compared to the others. I mean, it might not be much, but a lap or two here or there could make all the difference if he can do that again. A three-stopper with no worries. He may reel in the LRT cars just based on pit stops. So we'll see what's going on. And jumping to the head of GT, it looks like Hybrid is still not let Zapsies go, so he's still trying to keep it close. Not sure what our GT cars are doing on field. I will check that on fuel. They're at about 30% while in the Volvo. So
Zapsies is at about 22.
So they're probably going to have to pit together. It looks like the two LRT cars are in the pits. Based on what I just saw, looks like they pitted together. We'll jump on board real quick with them and see if I was right or if I was just a liar. And of course, one is stopped. Yep, they pitted together, so they are definitely working the same strategy here. And they're coming on us. Oh, that's close, boys. I hope when you get to the end of the pit wall that doesn't do something stupid and cause some damage. I'm actually pretty terrified of that for the moment. No, looks like they got out okay. It looked like their cars were inside each other for a minute, and sometimes that can be a massive problem. But they do come out in the middle of the GT field. They're right behind Ferrari Fanatic. And he just goes a little wide and lets Breeze go through, so Breeze has got a... He gave Stubbsy a little gap there, and he's going to close that back up, I would predict, pretty quickly. And they're just going to try and run. I think it looks right now as though the strategy is put as much distance as they possibly can between them and GSR Roadrunner, and hopefully they don't have the scare like they did 2 weeks ago.
It looks like GSR Roadrunner, I believe, is out front. By his telemetry, he is at 1% fuel.
Wow, is he going to make it?
He looks like he's going to make it, but he is stretching the tank as far as it will go. That is a bold strategy.
Yeah, he's on the last turn now. He is just going to make it. So that's his strategy. He's playing the game that he's not going to make a mistake and cost himself that 1%.
He's at 0% in the pits. I don't think you can run that any closer.
Not at all.
Without running out.
No.
Well done.
So an extra. So that's 1 lap to GSR Roadrunner, and that's worth. I know at the moment it doesn't mean anything, but just wait if this is your first week with us, because it always ends up being something crazy. We've had 2 rounds and 2 separate cars run out of fuel at different parts of the track.
One of the LRT cars, Stubbsy, has gone back into the pits.
Oh, he might have gotten damaged from that incident I was talking about with the cars inside each other. That is, he got 100% damage everywhere. On his brakes, his springs, and the front and right side, left and right side, and the front. So he either that happened or he had an incident. That is very, very unfortunate on the outlap. That throws their strategy to the wind, so now it is up to Breeze to just try and go. Now the good thing is Stubbsy's pit stop was only about 3 seconds, so because the fuel was no fuel, so we'll see if he can recover from that. That is terribly unfortunate. He's actually still in 6th place, so he didn't even fall to the back of the GTX field. But that's got to be frustrating, and as a driver, you just got to get over that and get on it and see what you can do. If he can actually... Now the strategy, I would think, for LRT has to be, can he get up and fight with Roadrunner and maybe slow him up and just let Breeze go?
It's definitely a strategy.
But you hate seeing things like that, some netcode issues and things like that, deciding people's races for him, because that was... really interesting the way they were running. You could tell he is pushing like hell right now.
Interesting side note here. My fan favorite, a blue Ninja Bear, he is also pushing that Audi as far as it will go on gas. I think he's going to be okay, but he's at 1% right now coming into what I believe should be the final turn.
They're hitting 1% on this final turn, and it's absolutely crazy. Looks like he made it in all right. We just jumped on board with him. So we will give you a quick rundown, barring Ninja Bear's pit stop. LRT Breeze is your overall leader, followed by GSR Roadrunner. XPR Roadrunner has now moved up into 3rd. XPR Chicane is in 4th. Mr. Stepanov is in 5th, so those two looks like they swap positions, maybe on pit stop, maybe something on track. LRT Stubbsy, after that damage, just fell to 6th. And then Mr. T rounds out your GTX class. Zapsy is still leading the GT field, followed by LMR Hybrid. Ferrari Fanatic is in 3rd in class. And then a blue Ninja Bear right at this moment I'm showing is 4th, followed by Desert Penguin, Newfie Magic, Lone Wolf, and then Stug. Let's jump on board with Stug. You haven't seen him after that, whatever happened to him on the opening lap. It looks like he's just out here running laps. I don't see anybody by him. Nope. Oh, well, there's Ferrari Fanatic. So it looks like as Stug's up, he looks like he must have had some problems, because it looks like he's getting ready to go a lap down to Ferrari Fanatic, which is the 3rd GT car. So unless he has pitted, then he's showing in 15th. So it looks like he's getting ready to go a lap down. This has not been his week.
He does, however, have a very good-looking livery. I like the Legos.
Yeah, some great.
I always bring in the best commentary to this series. I swear. The least amount of technical know-how I can get by with.
It works.
Our own XPR runner is working his way through some lap traffic here. He got by. I should know their names by now. Based on their cars, I believe it was Newfie Magic and Desert Penguin, and now he's working on Ferrari Fanatic in the Maserati.
So we will hang on with Stug here, because he is next in line as they head into turn 1. get ready to make the climb through the S's. XPR Roadrunner runs it a little wide. Definitely pushing hard. New tires. And, oh, I thought he was going to slide up the inside, but he decided not to. He's going to wait till the back straight because now he has to. As he makes it, yep, he gets through. And it looks like, who's that behind him? Chicane is going to get caught into the bus stop. So he'll have to resume as he dives to the inside, and oh, that was almost... Oh, it was bad. It was very bad for Chicane. He stuck that, and we have a huge incident.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, that's...
Mr. Stepanov. I saw him spin out.
Well, there is XPR Chicane, and then there's got to be another car there, and I don't know who it was.
Newfie Magic, I believe, might have caught a little bit of that.
Well, somebody caught it head on. I saw somebody on their side. Yeah, it looks like Newfie Magic is gonna do well if he can just get to the pits. Stepanov as well, so XPR Chicane made the gamble on going on inside on the second half of the bus stop, and not only hurt himself, but it looks like he's hurt several other cars. Yeah, not a great move, so...
Newfie Magic is having to limp it back to the pits as best he can.
Yeah, so is Stepanov. So that's very unfortunate. It looks like Mr. T is not sure kind of what's going on with these cars. So he threw it in there. He didn't want to lose the time, but he's paid for it, and so have others.
And as we say that, GSR Roadrunner has spun out too. Of course, I'm behind him. I'm watching the multi-twitch. Spun out... But I don't believe he hurt his car. Well, nope, he's actually... As I say that, he is in the pits. The back end of his car took a lot of damage. So right now we've got Ferrari Fanatic. Oh, man, I can't remember whose Mercedes is that. Oh, no, I'm a terrible commentator.
The black one is a Lone Wolf.
Okay, the white one, then.
The white one would have to be... Desert Penguin.
That Desert Penguin.
Yep.
Those three are in the pits right now.
Yes. Soon to join him is going to be Blue Ninja Bear, and then Stepanov if he can make it around. I'm going to jump on board with him and see if he can make it around. So he's currently showing in 15th place over. So Stepanov is having a hell of a time, so there's a lot of damage here.
We're not exactly sure what happened to Stug. In the first lap, it looked like he had fallen back, and he's kind of just running laps right now. Really not sure what happened. That was kind of unfortunate with the spectator might not be able to catch up to him. But we're showing him in 15th at the moment.
So, a lot of damage here, but looks like, luckily, I don't think we're going to have a retirement due to it. Looks like everybody made it back to the pits. I don't know how Chicane is doing. He's probably back out on track now. Yeah, he is, after getting repaired. That car does not look pretty. But luckily he doesn't see that, only I see that, only we see that. So,
shout out to the drivers. That'd be that's a case where you want to maybe quit out. Could definitely be frustrating, but hopefully they'll stick it out and keep the lobby going. Obviously, the more cars, the better.
Yep, so LRT Breeze now leads from XPR Roadrunner with that incident with GSR Roadrunner that happened right about the same time as our big incident in the bus stop. So now I guess that might throw GSR Roadrunner's pit strategy off somewhat now, having to make that extra pit stop.
On the flip side, though, he got fuel in that pit stop, so now he has a full tank of gas. So... still could throw a wrench into the whole strategy, but he can run a couple extra laps. And he really didn't lose that much ground in the grand scheme of things.
Now here's the interesting thing. He did pit, but you know who else pitted not too far before him was Stubbsy again. And Stubbsy is now ahead of him on track, so Stubbsy is showing in 3rd position, and GSR Roadrunner is showing in 4th, so now the LRT Stubbsy is back ahead of Roadrunner. So this could make for an interesting battle here.
And Dover, you bring up a good point. He probably should have waited. The GT3 cars, did have the line GTX must wait. If you're making the pass, it's really up to you to get around cleanly and not cause any incidents. At least is how one particular racing program sim does it.
Yeah, but the problem is I mean, we understand, and they understand how it should happen, but at the end of the day, they are racing.
That's right.
And,
I mean, it's a competition, and you know
well,
what? They're
yeah,
all pushing out there, and it's just one of those things that happens. And
that's multi-class. I mean, you're going down the back straight, heading into the bus stop. You see the guy ahead of you for position gets by the slower car on the straight, and you go, I've got to make it by. I can't lose any time. So do I take the risk? Do I not? And 50-50, you're going to make the wrong choice, or 50-50, you're going to make the right choice. And that just happened to be the wrong choice, and it's just really unfortunate that he collected the other cars with him. I mean, I don't think he purposely made that decision. I think he just didn't want to lose the ground to the car ahead of him. Zabsy is still in the lead in GT class. We're on board with him now, being followed somewhat closely by LMR Hybrid. Second race in the Volvo for Hybrid here. So
this is interesting. In race 1, obviously Breeze was in the GT car, Zabsies was behind him. They were running 1-2 with a pretty substantial gap between them. But Zabsies also had a pretty substantial gap between him and third place. Not quite the case this week at Watkins. The second place car, LMR Hybrid, is a lot closer than I might have anticipated.
Yeah, we anticipated
actually
at Circuit of the Americas, we anticipated a close battle between them two. Even though qualifying wasn't that close, race pace, Hybrid seemed to be right there, but unfortunately he did have a lag out, and that kind of put an end to that pretty quickly. So this week, hopefully, fingers crossed, that Hybrid can stay in, and it looks like they are getting ready to maybe have at it here. So it looks like right now, that Volvo is closing in on the Bentley. Okay, no, it's not. He is. He's definitely a lot closer than he has been the last couple turns. And then he runs wide as they get ready to head into the final corner here to complete another lap. So a 1-2, and it looks like they don't have much to worry about other than the battle that they are in.
Interesting footnote here. I believe Breeze has about a 6,000 foot gap between him and second place, which is XPR Roadrunner. So he's kind of back at it again, if you will. And he's actually caught up with some lap traffic in front of him. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to call this guy out, but I'm not entirely convinced he's not part cyborg. Because this guy is quick.
Oh, it might be like steering wheel.
Maybe, I do not know, but he is quick, and he's quick.
Very quick. But the fact that he didn't even get pole today just shows that the team strength there with LRT. But Stubbsy with that unfortunate incident, I have to think that Stubbsy's damage came from him being partially inside Breeze's car when they came out of the pits, because that is known to happen where one car will get 0 damage and the other car will be basically totaled. So, but he's done good to stick with it, and I don't think I'm going to run through. I just want to make sure that nobody got really mad. We have kept all 15 cars here, so everybody got through their repairs and went back out on track. So kudos to everybody for staying through, even though that hurt everybody's chances a little bit. None more than Chicanes himself. Glad to see everybody decided to just put on a show.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. It's definitely frustrating, but I'm glad everybody stuck around. Obviously, we're closing in on the 1 hour mark. We are at, 1 hour and 7 minutes and 21 seconds. Don't ask me to do the math on that one. Is that 38 minutes? We're 38 minutes in.
I'm showing that we're about, almost about 40 minutes in. Of course, I am only, the way I'm getting my timing is off of another stream that shows that we've got about an hour and 20 minutes left, and they start with 2 hours, so we're about 45 minutes in. Or 40 minutes in, I'm sorry.
Interesting question, then. Does the timing start on the warm-up lap around, or does it count when the cars approach the start-finish line, rather?
No, the way the rules were set up for anybody asking, because it has been brought up, and it was an issue in Race 1, it starts when they hit the grid. So as soon as they get the original green flag for the formation lap, the time starts.
Right on.
So there you go. As you know, Stepanov's connection. I hate to keep bringing it up. He just went into the wall again. I just can't do it. It looks like he's actually... No, that can't be. I have a hard time believing that.
What is that?
Right now, Mr. Stepanov is showing... No, okay, it corrected. For a second, he was showing behind Zabzi and Hybrid, so they must have unlapped themselves with his extra pit stop, and then he just got by them again for position.
Yes, I did see that. I saw a couple minutes ago that he was actually in 8th place, just based on the position where he was on the track, and the fact that Forza's not really keeping it. We can't set it up to be set as multi-class. It just sees them all as 1 through 15, and there's no distinction between who's in what class and
right
where they actually are in the race.
It threw me off for a second. But as of now, your current running order: LRT Breeze leads, followed by XPR Roadrunner. LRT Stubbsy has moved back into 3rd position. 4th is now GSR Roadrunner. 5th, Mr. T has moved up 2 spots due to that incident between Chicane and Stepanov. XPR Chicane is in 6th, and rounding out your GTX field is Mr. Stepanov. Zabsi still leads the GT field, followed pretty closely by LMR Hybrid. Blue Ninja Bears up to 3rd in class. Now, flag again. I shouldn't get on Stepanov when I start rating things because something happens and I get confused. Blue Ninja Bear is now in 10th, so he was caught up in that, so he actually did real well. Desert Penguin is in 11th, followed by Ferrari Fanatic, Lone Wolf, Newfie Magic, and Stug rounds out your GT field.
While you were reading through the standings, Stepanov about gave me a heart attack because I saw him flying through the air on stream, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? And then he recorrected himself and was all fine, so...
And that being said, it looks like Hybrid, sorry to cut you off, has taken... Nope, he's still behind. I thought he was ahead for a second.
Nope.
But they're side by side now.
This is a good battle, a
little
bit of contact.
Bump. And, I don't know, can't call it too close to call right now. Hybrid gets through, but Zabzi comes back on the over-under and can't quite put it together. So as of right now, Hybrid has taken the lead, but he slides it around the penultimate corner. And see what happens here on the front straight. And it looks like that Hybrid has taken the lead. So well done on Hybrid. So we do have a battle in the lead of GT. So Zabzi's going to have to fight for this one.
There is the multi-Twitch link. You got it, buddy. There's the link to the multi-Twitch. If you want to watch all the drivers going at once. Today we've got ourselves in the booth here. We've got XPR Roadrunner, Zabsies, Newfie Magic 37, and GSR Roadrunner are all streaming. So if you want to check out all the streams at once, give it a shot. What was that, Josh? Sorry.
Oh, just they're going through the bus stop. Hybrid took the defensive line, and Zabzi was forced to go to the outside, and then now it looks like they're running wide. They are pushing for this GT lead. Zabzi wants it back, and Hybrid doesn't want to give it to him.
How dare he?
Full-fledged lead battle going on here. Right about 45 minutes into the race, hour left to go, but guys are driving like it's the last lap.
And as we say this, there's a pretty decent looking battle going for 2 and 3 in the GTX class, although I don't really want to pull us away from the GT class. Roadrunner, XPR Roadrunner, and LRT Stubbsy are 2 and 3 right now, and looks like they're getting set up for a battle as they come through the bus stop.
We will head up there as soon as we can. As Zabzi fights back on the inside, Hybrid left the door open a little bit. Zabzi tried to take it, but wasn't able to carry the momentum. So, and here comes a GTX car. Looks like that might be Breeze. That would be Breeze then if Stubbsy is with XPR Roadrunner. So this is Breeze. He dives into the pits for his second pit stop, probably scheduled stop. And I don't think he wanted to fight this because this is a battle for the lead in GT. And GTX car didn't want to influence it or have it influence his race, so he took the pit stop. Might have been scheduled. They've been pitting with a little bit of fuel in the tank just in case. So up through the S's again. And we'll see what happens here on the back straight. We all know about the Bentley's power and straight line speed, but the Volvo's done well to keep him behind. And it looks like Hybrid is going to go defensive again. He's going to make Zabsy go the long way around into the braking zone. Zabsy gets a hell of a line, but it looks like Hybrid got an even better one, kept it in front. Oh, and Zabsy runs wide again. Sorry, a little excited. But it looks like Hybrid keeps taking this wide line here. So we'll see if that's the way to go or if that's going to end up costing him. But it's so far so good. Late on the brakes again. And he's not hugging the curb like I thought he would be. But it's working for him right now. Of course, he is driving under pressure, so it's hard to keep your wits sometimes. But as long as you keep that second place car behind you, who really cares how you get around the track?
Not one to jump in on here, you Josh, but GSR Roadrunner and actually Newfie Magic had a little bit of a, I won't say battle, but an encounter, and I'm going to give him credit. GSR Roadrunner was trying to get around Newfie for position there, and almost had a little bit of a contact. Which would have been costly, but they both kept it clean. I just want to give them a shout out. That was good racing on their part. Incidents aren't fun. They can be kind of entertaining to watch. We certainly don't want to see them. So just shout out to those guys. Yeah, you know, not good for the driver.
No, we'd rather see clean racing. We'd rather see no incidents, to be honest. But it's hard to leave this battle right now. Zabsy is having to fight to try and get it back again. He keeps closing up through the S's here and gets a good run, but Hybrid is just making that early move to the defensive line. Through the bus stop again. And then Hybrid runs wide onto the grass. Zabsy takes the lead back. Maybe. Hybrid's got it going around the outside. Wow, that camera view is scares the hell out of me. I keep thinking they're going to hit the wall, so Zabsy's back in front. So this battle is going to rage on.
That is a good point. XPR, Roadrunner, and Stubbsy having a little bit of a battle here. Actually, interesting enough, Breeze pitted and still had a substantial lead after he came out of the pits.
Okay, so
Part cyborg, just saying.
So has Stubbsy got around Roadrunner, or are they still going at it?
Actually, now that I say that, I don't know if that's just an issue with the stream. Actually, I might have misspoke. Breeze might actually be in third. Stubbsy 1, XPR Roadrunner 2, with Breeze in third. So the pit stop might have actually cost him those two places. However, he's got more fuel than both of those two, so he should get the position back pretty quickly.
Yeah, he'll get it back on the next pit stop. So
Breeze is in third. Okay.
Yeah, the timing didn't update in time when we were looking at it. So, but we're gonna stay on board as Hybrid runs wide out of turn 1, that big runoff area, and we'll see now what he can do on the back straight entering the bus stop. And if Zabsy decides to take the defensive line, I don't know if Hybrid's gonna be close enough here. We'll see what happens. That Bentley does punch a big hole in the air, so we'll see. Hybrid taking all of the curb he can possibly handle and closes back up, so they're not done yet. Like I said, they had such a gap on third place that really all they have to focus on is this battle between themselves. So Zabsy's doing good to hold on to first, but now Hybrid's back driving possessed. As it looks like they're going to catch look like GT lap traffic in front. So it looks like Roadrunner and Stubbsy both pitted, so it looks like Breeze is retaking the overall lead. But we're going to stay right here because this seems to be the closest action on track that I can think of, unless Stubbsy and Roadrunner have gotten together. And Matt, I'll let you
I'm gonna watch them coming out of the pits. Obviously, we had a little bit of a snafu earlier, which was really
Did
just
they pit together?
They did. They pitted at the same time.
Okay.
Looks like. All right, so I'm not sure. Give me a second. I don't know if the live timing is updated here, but it looks to me.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it looks like Zabsy got a little loose, a little bit of a tank slapper there, heading onto the front straight, I think. And all of a sudden he was over by the pit wall. And yeah, they are getting ready to catch the McLaren. So Newfie Magic is going to go a lap down. Of course, he had that big incident in the bus stop with Chicane and Mr. Stepanov. So we'll see what that has to play if these guys catch them, as they are being caught by looked like it was XPR Chicane, so another GTX car. As Hybrid takes across a little bit of lawnmower action, a little bit of grass taking, not too bad.
A Roadrunner battle, you say? Oh yes, indeed. GSR Roadrunner and XPR Roadrunner within a couple. Actually, on Roadrunner stream with a couple 100 feet.
Let's jump up there then, because it looks like this might have settled down for a second as Chicane comes in to divide the cars a little bit. So let's head up there and check this out. GSR Roadrunner back into third. So after all was said and done, Breeze is first, followed by Stubbsy, followed by GSR Roadrunner. So even with all what happened with GSR Roadrunner spin out and getting damage, and Stubbsy's damage coming out of the pits, they've stayed 1, 2, 3. So just a testament to their pace here. And we'll see what happens as he's getting ready to catch that looks like Stepanov, about to go a lap down, and I hear they go with the lag again, but I doubt GSR Roadrunner is going to want to waste much time getting by him. So you are watching Extreme GT Round 3 here at Watkins Glen, a Turn Community Series. So head over to the ultimateracing.network.com and find the Extreme GT section. And we are still taking sign-ups for Hockenheim for any reserve entries. Going to try and get a full grid out there at the series finale in 2 weeks' time. And if you want to catch up on any of the stuff going on, look at the forums there. And below our stream here, you will find our YouTube, where we have uploaded both Round 1 and Round 2, the broadcast from those races. So head over there and give us a follow, and follow us here on Twitch for whenever we go live. As Roadrunner gets loose and makes slight contact with the barrier wall, and did well to a good avoidance by XPR Roadrunner, but it looks like GSR Roadrunner probably didn't get any damage from that. No, he's got 70% fuel, so now he has to do the task of passing XPR Roadrunner all over again. So there was that. See anything else going on, Matt? As I'm gonna watch GSR Roadrunner here try to reel in XPR Roadrunner again.
Yeah, just keeping an eye out on Sabsies.
And hold on one second, that didn't take any time at all. On the back straight, he's already back by XPR Roadrunner.
Wow.
He's got that thing flying right now. Through the bus stop, and almost lost it again.
He's
but
pushing.
He kept it together. He is pushing hard.
He's also running on a little bit of borrowed time. His fuel has dropped. He's at about 14-ish%, which, with the laps they've been running, he could probably push another 2 laps, I would think. We've been running anywhere from 6 to 8%.
Yeah.
It would be close, but he pushed it to 0% earlier.
Well, yeah, it'd be one thing if he was on 14% at the line. He's going to be on 12 as they get by Ferrari Fanatic in the GT class. And they get ready to get by Desert Penguin, I believe, yeah. The GSR Roadrunner recovered from that with a vengeance.
That is true. He's going to have to pass him again. He's going to have to pit before. It's really odd having 2 Roadrunners in the same lobby.
Especially so close together in the same class. It'd be one thing if they were in different classes.
Right.
Oh, and Stug is going very slowly. I don't know if he ran out of gas or was just trying to get out of the way. He was going for pit entry, and we almost had a major incident because Roadrunner went to the inside to pass some of the other GT cars, and Stug was right there on the apex. Oh, that was almost bad. Real bad. So let's see what kind of fuel GSR Women is at. He's at 8%. I think he's got to come in this lap. He's got to come in on this lap. Where XPR Roadrunner, when did he pit? Not too long ago, I don't think. He's got 76%.
Stubbsy went at the same time.
So, yeah, so he's going to have it all to do again.
Checking out the question here in the chat, how are LMR hybrid fuel tires versus Zabsi's? Looking at Zabsi's, his tires at about 50% in the front, 30s, mid-30s in the back. He's at 13% fuel. LMR hybrid, high 40s in the front, mid-30s in the back with 23% fuel. So he can run a couple extra laps over Zabsi's at the moment, but
they've been pretty close on fuel consumption, I think. We were within a couple percent after the first stint, so it'll be interesting to see if anything can develop there, if anybody can push it further or decides to.
It's interesting that how hard they've been pushing that LMR hybrid has 10% more fuel. Kind of shows the strength of the Volvo maybe a little bit, or maybe just one of the weaknesses of having the stronger car in the Bentley.
It looks like got some action in the pits. I think is that Stepanov, I think, as we ride on board here with XPR Roadrunner, whose pulse is probably coming down a little bit now.
LRT Breeze getting by Zabsi's and LMR hybrid.
So Breeze has lapped the leaders of the GT field.
Trying to pull up. Let me see. GSR Roadrunner is in the pits.
Okay, we expected that. So, and it looks like Hybrid and Zabsi's are still going at it. Another little bit of contact right as we get on board with them.
Riding on board with our own XPR Roadrunner in his stream, actually try to get an idea of where he is in comparison to 1 and 2, which are the LRT boys. Breeze is currently 8,500 feet in front of him, and LRT Stubbsy is about 1,800 feet, so Breeze with a pretty healthy-looking lead at the moment.
So,
but that's the fun thing with GTX, fuel strategy.
Yeah, you wouldn't think, but it is.
There's still roughly 45 minutes to go.
Yeah,
a lot can happen.
Right about 45 minutes to go. And this GT battle is nowhere near over at the moment, as they are still just absolutely nose to tail as they go to the bus stop again.
Yeah, my dog decided to bring a squeaky toy in while I'm recording. Probably should have a sign, no animals in the booth. But,
that's alright. Everyone's welcome around here.
A pretty good battle here for 1 and 2 in the GT class. I'm mighty impressed, actually.
We're hanging out on Hybrid here, see if he can do anything. But they have been very close all race, so it's good to see a battle in the GT field.
He could potentially run an extra lap over the Bentley, pit after him, and still, well, he probably won't have the lead coming out of the pits, but who knows?
Basically depend on how fast you hit pit entry. I mean, he could either stop with Zabsi and take the shorter fuel stop, or he could try to push it and then he has to either try and pass him or hold him off on the cold tires, or we'll see. I don't know what he's going to try and do, but there's a few different ways he can go about it as Zabsi dives into the pits. So Hybrid will take your GT lead. He's got 12%, and he's staying out, so he's obviously going to try and push that extra lap. So he'll probably come in with about 6% fuel or so. We'll have to see. We'll stay on board with him, see if he can get maybe 2 laps. I don't think so, but we'll see. Because he was at 12% right as he crossed the line. He's already down to 11, so he'll probably be in this lap. So it's going to be...
Oh, GSR Roadrunner spun and has incurred a lot of damage on the front end of the car. 100% on the front, 100% on both sides.
That's as we jump on board, it looks like he's lost it again. So he is not having a good time right now. He's pushing too hard, trying to make up that gap. But looks like he'll be able to get it back around to the pit. So this will be his third pit stop. Of course, he had his first one was scheduled, then he had a second one which he incurred damage and had to pit a second time. Now this is a third one, so I have no idea what this is going to do for his strategy. I'm sure he's frustrated, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's not over yet. If he can just not go a lap down, I mean, with the fuel consumption on these cars, you don't know what's going on until the end. So, but it definitely looks like he's having some problems. Luckily, that happened towards the end of the lap, so he was able to get back without having too many problems as he brings it around into the pits. So let's find LRT Breeze here and see where he is on track. So he just started another lap, so not sure if I can't tell if Roadrunner went down a lap or not. So we will see what happens here. So Breeze is through the bus stop, and I would have to think that Roadrunner has gone a lap down here, as he has just left the pit. So yeah, he definitely went a lap down to LRT Breeze and possibly some others. He's now showing in 5th position overall, 5th position in class. He's just got to keep it clean now, put his head down, and see what happens, see how the chips fall. As he gets by Stug in a hurry.
I am back now, by the way. My dog's gave me a small heart attack, but
it's okay.
It's alright. I was already pretty amped up from the race, and that just elevated it a little bit, so we're fine.
We're good.
Glad I looks like I missed something, though. But I was catching up.
Well, to catch you up real quick and catch everybody else up, looks like GSR Roadrunner had the incident that you saw, and then we jumped on board with him. He had another one, so he definitely had to bring it into the pits, and I think in that process he's gone a lap down to the GTX leaders. So while he is in 5th place, he is a lap down, I would assume, to everybody ahead of him. So I don't know what that's going to do to his strategy. I have no clue. We're just going to have to wait and see on this one. Usually we've been able to figure it out, but with his now 2nd unscheduled pit stops as we get on a hybrid, jumping into the pits, now GSR Roadrunner has had 2 off-sequence pit stops. I'm not sure what it's going to do for him, so we'll see what happens as we'll sit here with hybrid through his pit stop and see where he comes out in relation to Zabsy. So I'm
actually going to pull up the multi-twitch and see where Zapsies is on the track.
So hybrid made it around with 1% again. So everybody has decided just to push the fuel as far as they can at the moment. What will be interesting is what LRT Breeze knows about what's gone on behind him.
That is true.
He should have seen when he lapped GSR Roadrunner. I'm not sure. I'm hoping he did. So we'll see. So it looks like hybrid does get the lead through the pit stop. Zabsy is going to be on the warmer tires, though. Heading down, as they get through the SS, heading down the back straight, they are right back together. So hybrid's going to have to get up to speed in a hurry here. And he goes defensive again.
Can't really call it any closer than that.
No, not at all. So these guys are definitely going to be locked in, I think, for the remainder of the race, if this is any indication. And you can see the cold tires coming into play as hybrid gets a little loose. Zabsy is right behind him. He goes to the outside, and he's trying to go underneath as they come out of the corner, but not quite. Still on board with Zabsy. It's always easier to follow the chasing car. So as they continue to go at it, as Hybrid is on his outlap, it looks like he's probably got everything pretty close to warmed up now. So this just can resume a mano-a-mano battle. As not sure what else is going on. We have a lot of tires everywhere.
Just a few. You know, it adds a little bit of excitement to that turn.
Sure.
It's got more substance.
As long as they're not one of the car's tires.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll sit on board here and just see what develops. I don't know. Looks like it's just going to keep going back and forth. So I'm guessing, yeah, they should have one more pit stop to go. I have not been doing my fuel calculations, so I don't know how Hybrid's doing on fuel, if he's going to have to make kind of a splash and dash. As Zapsy goes outside, but falls back in line right before the bus stop. So, but Hybrid gets a little loose, wiggles it a little bit, and they are side by side. Zapsy on the outside, and he runs wide, so he's going to have to get out of the throttle, and that's going to allow Hybrid to get away a little bit. So now Zapsy's going to have a little bit of ground to make up, not much, as looks like Hybrid continues to get a little bit loose on corner entry. So not sure what's going on there. But Matt, if you see anything, let us know. Otherwise, this seems to be the battle to watch at the moment.
Yeah, I'm kind of just patrolling the different cars and see who's doing what. Not much going on compared to the battle we have here now, though.
Yeah, we are closing in on about 37 minutes to go. So at the I think we're through pit stops right now, so let's run through the running order. LRT Breeze still leads. Stubbsy is in second place. XPR Roadrunner is third. XPR Chicane is up to fourth place. GSR Roadrunner has fallen to fifth. Mr. T is in sixth, and Mr. Stepanov is seventh, rounding out the GTX class. LMR Hybrid we're on board with, is now leading the GT field, followed very closely by Zapsy's in that black Bentley. Blue Ninja Bear is now third in class, as looks like there might have been a little bit of contact heading out of turn one. Anyway, Lone Wolf is 11th overall, followed by Desert Penguin, Ferrari Fanatic, Newfie Magic, and Stug rounds out the GT field. And that'll catch you up to date right now, so let's stay on board as Zapsy is trying to go around the outside again. But it looks like the Volvo's getting on the brakes a little bit better and just has the better line through the bus stop. So it looks like Zapsy may need to rethink his passing strategy here, whether he wants to kind of save up and try for it in a different part of the track, or if he's just going to have to commit and go real late into the braking on the outside, because Hybrid's very early taking the defensive line down the back straight. So we'll see what happens here. And yeah, ORT is beasting it in the GTX. They were beasting it in the GT. They're just quick. So, and Zapsy's, it looks like he is going for it on the outside, but he didn't have the run. And Hybrid just continues to take that inside line. Oh, the puns.
That is a good point brought up by, I'm probably going to say it wrong, Siphon. Because Stubbsy and Roadrunner, XPR Roadrunner, let me throw that out there, I believe they pitted at the same time. And looking at Roadrunner's stream, there's about a 4,000 foot gap.
Zapsy goes to the inside and he gets the pass on the front straight, but he runs wide out of turn one. And Hybrid's going to fight back into turn two. And all that said and done, they're in the same positions, 1 and 2. So Hybrid still 1, Zapsy still 2, but he's definitely looked like he's going for it in a different part of the track. I'm not sure he thinks he can get it done at the bus stop. So this just continues to rage on as Hybrid goes down the inside again. Just holding on that inside line and making Zabsy do the hard work to try and pass him. So that Volvo's definitely holding on right now. But Zabsy is very close. Looks like he got a much better line through that corner after the bus stop now. And little tapping. Looks like he might have pushed Hybrid a little wide, but stayed behind, so not sure there was actual contact there or not, but it was definitely, if there wasn't, it couldn't have been much closer.
It was definitely pretty darn close.
Yeah, it's some great
the smallest of
racing
increments.
There, they're doing pretty clean. I'm just
Oh, XPR Roadrunner. I think he just had a pretty big hit.
Did he? I won't go over there, but
yeah, he's in the pits now with 15% fuel, but 100% damage on the front and the sides of the car.
Where did he have his incident at? Was it close to the pits?
It was.
Okay,
based on where he was in the stream and where I am now.
Oh yeah, it looks like there was a bunch of fresh tires across the track there. So it looks like it was the corner right before the pit entry. As Zabsy again pulls up to the side of Hybrid, approaching the first turn here. And if Zabsy can keep it together, but he falls back behind. This is some great racing. These guys are doing really, really close. So he had 17% fuel. Not sure what that'll mean for the end. He's still going to have to make it about half an hour on fuel. But it's definitely going to close the gap, and everyone else is going to use all the help they could get to catch these front runners. And a broken record, but Zabsy went on the outside again into the bus stop, but couldn't get it done.
Thanks for the close racing, boys. Your check's in the mail.
Zabsy's got the inside line, though. Hybrid drifted a little wide, but it set him up for the next corner, so he's got the inside here. It looks like he's having a little bit of problem controlling that Volvo. I'm not sure if he's doing this on purpose, but he seems to be missing his apexes. It could be the pressure, but if Zabsy could clean this up, he should have a good run, because Hybrid is definitely, I don't think, taking the optimal line around some of these corners.
It's interesting, another interesting point by Siphon real quick. The wreck of XPR Runner could open the door for GSR Runner. I wish our live stats would tell us where exactly they are in relation to each other. Because when we come to the conclusion that GSR Runner was a lap down...
Oh, Jesus, I just had another heart attack. I'm sorry. Stepanov just lagged into the tires in front of the two GT leaders, and then just continued on his way. Oh my god. Oh, and Zabsy is on the inside of... I can't do this. I almost died. I'm not even racing. Oh, thanks, Stepanov. Thanks for the action. Oh.
Tires flying everywhere.
Now it looks like Hybrid runs wide out of turn 1, and Zabsy's is going to get the lead heading up into the S's. But a little bit of contact. Looks like Hybrid had the better run and couldn't check up in time and ran a little bit into the back of Zabsy's to head on the back straight. Hybrid, excuse me, should have a hell of a draft with the size of that Bentley. But now the Bentley takes the inside line, and Hybrid has to go around the outside, but he cuts the corner. And then Zabsy cuts the other part of the bus stop. And Stepanov looks like he actually did have an incident that time and was facing the wrong way. So there was a heart attack I wasn't expecting again. So Zabsy now is in the lead for GT. This is interesting. Not sure if you could check on Mr. Stepanov there, see if he's got any damage. I do not want to break away from this, but it looked like that was a pretty good hit. So
lots of damage for Mr. Stepanov, 100% front and sides,
so
as well as left springs. So
man, so it definitely looks like well, I don't know if that's graphical or not, but it looks like Hybrid may have incurred some aero damage. Not showing any damage on the telemetry, but it looks like his front bumper's bend in a little bit, so I don't know if he's going to have a little problem keeping up with the already fast Bentley. Because now it looks like Zabsy has pulled a small gap, not much, but more than he's had the last 10 laps. So we will see what happens here if Hybrid can fight back again.
Mr. Stepanoff has made it to the pits.
Good for him. So yet again, everyone's making it around, so that's good.
Another unexpected pit stop, though.
Yeah, that's quite a few today.
We might have more incidents at Watkins Glen than the other two tracks combined. Because Brands Hatch was pretty clean overall. And unfortunately, I wasn't here for Coda, but Watkins Glen has claimed a couple cars today.
Well, as you...
in theory.
Well, yeah, Watkins Glen isn't easy, but as you get into the series, you kind of learn everybody else's, all the other drivers around you, and then you really start getting into it. So it felt like Brands Hatch, while it was great racing, everyone was still kind of unsure about the cars and how everybody else is going to do around them. Now, they're just going for it. So, but this track has come out and bit a couple people. So, not sure what happened to Stepanov. Might be able to get a report from him later, but I'm not sure. He's been having his internet connections, and it might have just caught him at the wrong time. So it looks like XPR Roadrunner is getting ready to lap the two GT leaders, and we'll see when he catches them and what it leads to, if it closes his gap back up or winds it out, or if he just gets through on a straightaway and no big deal. So we are now, what is that, about 25 minutes to go here at Watkins Glen for round 3 of Extreme GT. And make sure to give us a follow here. We have, in 2 weeks, we will be at Hockenheim for the series finale. We are still accepting registrations for any positions we filled in. We definitely want to have a full grid at Hockenheim. So head over to theultimateracingnetwork.com, get signed up, and find the Extreme GT section under the Turn Community series and sign up, because we will be looking to probably get some reserve slots inserted so that we can have a bigger field. So if this interests you, head over there and sign up, as it looks like Hybrid caught the tail end of the grass, but it doesn't look like it did much to him. So XPR Roadrunner looks like he might be trying to go around the outside of Zapsi's here and gets it done. So didn't slow anybody up, it didn't look like. So we'll see if Hybrid has closed the gap a little bit. So resume, boys, round whatever this is. So anything else going on? How's GSR Roadrunner doing, or is everybody kind of left him?
He seems to be alright. He's at 35% fuel, which means he's getting close to pitting again. Siphon posted earlier that XPR Roadrunner had about 2,300 feet to chicane, and was it 2,400? Is it GSR Roadrunner? I believe that's right, unless that's chicane to Roadrunner.
I'm trying to look. It looks like XPR Roadrunner is about 8,000 feet behind Stubbsy, about 2,000 feet ahead of chicane, and I don't know where GSR Roadrunner is to chicane, so I'm not sure quite how this is going to work out now.
To chicane, it's about... Yep, okay, so Simon's right, 1,700 feet. I thought, yeah, so, okay.
So that
I don't know where I was going with that, so I'm just going to leave that one alone now.
That being said, I really can't call anything now until this next round of pit stops comes into play. If GSR Roadrunner is on 30%, that means everybody else is going to be really close to pit stops, I would assume. If you want to check that out, because looks like Hybrid has caught a Zapsy again. So here we go again.
In the GTX class, they're kind of all over the place right now. Chicane's going to have to pit either this lap. He might be able to stretch it one more after this one. GSR, we looked at. XPR Roadrunner is at 69%. Stubbsy is at... My game will load. Stubbsy's at 71, and Breeze is currently at 52. So we're going to have a round of erratic pit stops for this thing.
Right. So it looks like one of the LRT cars went to the inside to make the pass, and Hybrid tried to follow him but couldn't quite get the run on Zabsy as they were lapped again by one of the GTX LRT cars. Can't tell which one it is, but thought Hybrid might be able to use the gap created by the GTX car to get it past him, but not quite. But he is right on the rear bumper again of Zabsy. So here we go again, and here comes another GTX car in the back, I think. I think that's a GTX car, maybe a couple of them coming on now, so here we go. And Hybrid goes to the inside up turn 2, and depends if somebody lifts, as it looks like they're going to be heading down the back straight side by side. It looks like Hybrid might have scraped the wall, but he might have made it through alright, as Zabsy cuts across, and Hybrid almost cut back, but it looks like he lifted a little bit, as that looks like Mr. T there in the GTX car in the background, the green one, as Zabsy goes across the grass. Hybrid goes around the outside, but looks like Hybrid got a little loose, and boy, these guys are using every inch of the track, and then some. Because this is getting really interesting, because now we've got Mr. T and Chicane right behind this GT battle. So what is going to go on here? It looks like Mr. T went around the inside, but I'm not sure what's going on. He's forcing Hybrid wide, so that's allowing Zabsy at least a second of a breather. But we'll see what happens here, as now the two GTX cars are in between the two GT cars.
Easy, boys. This would get real interesting.
Oh, it could. As they're trying to go around the outside, the GTX car is trying to go around the outside. And it looks like Hybrid has fallen in line with the GTX cars, but Zabsy cuts across and closes the door. So Hybrid made the right move, but Zabsy was wise to it and went across. As Hybrid brushes the wall, Chicane pulls into the pits, and everything's blowing up here on the front straight. So I'm hoping that didn't do much but scrub his speed. Well, we're on board with Zabsy. Let's jump on board with Hybrid here. And I hope he didn't get any damage as they go by Stug, who just gets out of the way. So he brushed the wall coming onto the front straight, but no damage, so won't be affected at all with any speed or cornering ability, anything like that. Back again through the bus stop. Hybrid seems to get the bus stop lined up very well. So it looks like that's GSR Roadrunner now is about to catch these two. And we'll see what this has to happen. These guys are in the middle of everything right now. GSR Roadrunner goes around the outside of Hybrid, allows Hybrid to tuck in right behind him, gets past them right before the end of the corner. So Hybrid tucks in behind. Now we'll see how GSR Roadrunner approaches Zabsy. So let's see what happens here. So it looks like GSR Roadrunner did get ahead of Zabsy without too much time, so another GTX car goes by. And he's not too far. Is GSR Roadrunner? I have to check this. So GSR Roadrunner is ahead of Chicane and Mr. T. So those are lap cars in the GTX field ahead of them. So we'll just hang out here, because there's a small gap now between Hybrid and Zabsy. As Hybrid goes onto the grass, that's really gonna compromise his speed for this front straight. Zabsy getting the power down well is gonna open that up. So now it looks like Hybrid definitely has some work to do now. And I swear, did I see... I think... I'm not sure if I saw someone off or not. Looks like somebody was parked in the front straight. And we still have everybody here. Not sure what's going on. So let's jump on board with some of our other cars now that it looks like we've got a break. Try and keep an eye on that and see how that goes. We're checking out Lone Wolf, who's currently running 13th overall in the black Star Wars livery. Okay, I don't think anybody... Looked like there might have been somebody over there in the runoff of turn 1, but I don't think so. So
I believe LRT Breeze just lapped XPR Roadrunner.
Did he really?
So, the 1 car just lapped the 3 car. And Stubbsy's somewhere in between.
Well, Breeze is on a tear right now, so we'll just see what happens with the pits. Breeze hasn't had any unscheduled pit stops, so every other GTX car besides Breeze has had unscheduled pit stops, at least one. So Breeze is still on his original strategy, whatever that may be.
Interesting point. GSR runner passed Chicane for 4th, but he's looking at about 5% fuel right now, so he's probably going to drop that position again in the pits. But based on where he is and where Chicane, see if I can find him again, it might be very close as they come out of the pits. Oh, GSR runner
pitting this lap, or no? Chicane
he
just pitted.
He just pitted, so he might be good for the rest of the race.
Could be close. He's already down to 88%. I'm not sure when he came out of the pits.
We're looking at about 17 minutes to go.
Yeah. Because Chicane gets by Stug's BMW there. And Stug just looks like he doesn't have the pace this race, so...
Zabsy's pitting. Breeze is a robot. You know?
You won't get any argument from us.
Yeah. I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm not going to disagree with you, Lamb Chop. It has been great driving. It's been a really good race today. A couple of interesting moments, we'll say, but very good race, very fun to watch, very entertaining to commentate on.
So Zabsy's pitted, and Hybrid now is sitting on 27% fuel. So we'll see how far he'll push this advantage here. But based on what's happened so far, it won't mean anything when he gets out of the pits. Zabsy will probably be right there.
Yeah, I would think go pit sooner than later, get your tires warm, and try and finish out the race on some warm tires instead of trying to pit later and have to come out on cold tires to finish the race.
Well, I have to think that for sure Hybrid will be good to the end.
Oh no, what's happened to GSR Roadrunner?
Another...
It's possible. He's going 100% front damage and both sides.
So GSR Roadrunner's just not gotten along with Watkins Glen this week. And he is just through the bus stop on my screen. Siphon said he's in the pit. I would hope that I'm not that far behind.
Dover's calling Zapsies to take GT.
Well, it's going to be close.
It's going to be very, very close.
I mean, Zabsy has definitely not had the easy run that he had. Well, if you remember, 2 weeks ago at Circuit in the Americas, he got such an easy run because, oh man, and so what happened, looks like GSR Roadrunner pitted and got 100% damage coming out of the pits, because I'm looking at it, he's got 98% fuel and 100% damage. So something happened on his outlap.
Yeah, I think these curbs... I mean, he is, Siphon did say earlier, he is the one car not running traction control, so...
Well, that we can confirm. I mean...
Can confirm. You know, it's definitely caused him some issues because he has gotten a little sideways. He's saved it a lot of times today, but there's just been a couple where it's bit him a little bit.
Yeah, this is, and that was early on in the lap, and it looks like somebody just ran off behind him, but, man, that just happened coming out of the pit. I don't know what happened. If anybody was watching his stream could fill us in what happened. I personally don't have it up, but right out of the pits, up at the bus stop. That seemed likely, but I didn't want to say it.
I think it was, my guess is it's before.
Now, is he even going to make it to the pits? He's wide. What? Oh my god. Okay, he made it. Oh. He went outside and Desert Penguin and one of the GTX cars went by and he almost didn't make it across to the pit wall. That would have been terrible to have to go another lap like that. Well, GSR Roadrunner, the one positive, he will be good on fuel to the end. Well, that doesn't mean much at this point, but that's going to put him down in 7th, last in GTX, so see what that does to the championship.
We should see a round of pit stops here for the GTX class, now that you say that. Breeze is going to have to pit, I would assume, this lap. I don't think he can push it another one.
I don't think he needs to.
I would agree.
If he's anywhere close, just take the pit. So let's see. Hybrid is still on 16% fuel. So let's see what he decides to do. Because this seems to be the battle right now. The battle to be at. So Zapsies makes probably, I would assume that would have been his final pit stop.
Roadrunner jumped in and said no damage from the wall. Looks like he got hit by the BMW. Yikes, and he incurred no damage.
Wow. Very sorry to hear about that. We weren't able to see it.
So that was...
So contact with the BMW, but the BMW got away fine, and that has happened. We actually saw that at Brands Hatch, where there was an incident. I think it was with XPR Chicane had an incident and received. He either got the 0 or the 100%. So it's really unfortunate things working that way. Very tough. And Hybrid is going to stay out another lap. And I'm kind of questioning this because I think if he would have possibly... We'll see what happens. Maybe this is the right call. If he would have pitted with Zabsy, I would think that his pit stop would have been much shorter. And he would have still been fine to the end. So we'll have to see how this works. But he is pushing it. So, because he's going to finish with a lot of fuel in the tank. As we're about 12 minutes to go here. So, we'll stay on board here. And yeah, maybe it was some lag or just an odd incident, because I see the BMW through the screen, and he looks fine. It doesn't even look like any visual damage, so could have been lag. Very, very unfortunate for GSR Roadrunner, because with everything that happened today, he was fighting back and he was quick. Just didn't work out for him. So we'll see what that means for everybody else, but right now we are just waiting to see when Hybrid dives into the pits here and see what the delta is with him and Zapsy. When he dives into the pits, we'll jump on board with Zapsy and see what happens.
As we say, this XPR Roadrunner has jumped into the pits, so this will be his last stop of the day. With Stubbsy in front of him, is going to have to pit. He could actually make... I'll give him one more lap. I don't think he can push it too. He's got 14% fuel, so I don't think he's going to make it around the circuit twice, but... Let me see. I think the timing of this could be really interesting too. Because Roadrunner is exiting the pits, and I believe Stubbsy should be close to the start-finish line.
Okay, so Hybrid is into the pits, so GT Leader is in the pits. Let's jump on board with Zabsy and see where he's at and see what happens here. I think he's got a couple corners to go. It's going to be close. Big surprise. So as he is he's hitting the penultimate corner. We'll see where Hybrid's at. I seem to think that Hybrid would come out just ahead of him. So...
Zabsy's is into the front stretch.
Yep. And where is Hybrid? I don't see him on the side there. We're riding on board with Zabsy. Hybrid looks like he just hit the end of the pit wall, so he should come out ahead by a fair bit. And it looks like Zabsy was held up by Mr. Stepanov in GTX. Wait a second. No, Zabsy took the lead again. Didn't matter. By a ways. So... Wait a second. So Hybrid has just hit the bus stop behind Desert Penguin.
And Zabsy's is through the pit stop and beyond.
Yeah. So Zabsy, huge gap.
He's pushing it.
Oh, it looks like a car off on the wall. Was that Mr. Stepanov? Oh, looks like we had our first retirement. Looks like Mr. Stepanov has retired. I know it was mentioned in chat he had an incident that held up Zapsies, and that might have just been too much. So, I think Zapsy set down some flyers mixed with, I know somebody said that Hybrid was, got clean air and was able to run his line better, but definitely looks like it hasn't worked for him, so we'll see. He's got less than 10 minutes to go to make up the difference, and he's gotten by Desert Penguin, so now there's nothing between him and Zapsy. He can see him. So we'll see what that does, how hard he decides to push. It's been a great race so far. So hopefully he can maybe reel him in. He's gonna, I don't know. Zapsy should be fine on fuel and everything, so I don't think he's gonna start losing any tire grip or anything like that. And Hybrid's carrying more weight right now, so we'll see how this works.
From looking at the field, there really shouldn't be too many more critical pit stops. I think everybody in GTX is good to go. Looking at GT class, they're good to go. So we're at about 7.5 to go. Actually, now that I say that, Lone Wolf may have to. I don't know if his Mercedes can make another 7 minutes on 20%, but
probably not.
I believe it's 7.5. The in-game timer's at 22:30 right now, so we got roughly 7.5 to go, I think.
And it ends at 15, so let's head, got a little breather now. We'll keep an eye on Hybrid, but we'll just kind of hang out with everybody else for a little bit. We're on board with the Blue Ninja Bear.
Dude's my hero. I'm not a very good commentator. I'm not impartial.
That Audi. But he's been running pretty good. He's third in class, so podium at the moment. So we'll see how...
You know, with the kind of day it's been, a podium, very respectable.
Yeah.
A couple of crazy instances.
Surviving this day is...
yes.
Just first and foremost right now, and an accomplishment in itself. So...
it's all about making it to Hockenheim in 2 weeks.
Yep. Yeah. Can we get the cars there in one piece? Or several. We'll just put them together out there.
Little duct tape here and there. We'll be fine. We're fine.
Yes, Greeny, but not the one we deserve.
Hang on, I got...
No memes in the chat. Okay. We'll just take a little tour through the field here.
It's good. I like this little breather. My heart rate can resettle. I can catch my breath.
And I'm sure I'll go back and Hybrid will be like 2 feet behind Zabsy and something will...
Somebody in the chat will have to call it out to us because we'll have missed it. If it wasn't for Siphon, I think I would have probably missed a lot to that. Actually, no, I know I've missed it. He just caught me back up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a lot of screens right now. It's kind of weird, too. The streams are obviously about 15 seconds behind the actual game. So looking at the actual game and trying to flip back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely...
Not complaining. It just makes it very interesting to try and play catch-up.
Yep.
And be ahead of the stuff.
And that actually isn't a car on the wall. That just happens to be where Mr. Stepanov's car ended up when he retired. So it shows up there on my screen. He's not really there, so nobody will go barreling into him. So as we're on board with Newfie here, and that McLaren has been through the wars today.
Yeah, he kind of caught the tail end of something that wasn't really his fault.
No.
But, you know...
Like I said, I don't think it was anybody's fault. I think it was a gap that somebody went for and just it didn't work. But I don't think it was intentional.
No. Wasn't saying that, just saying, Wait, did we lose somebody?
Well, we lost Stepanov, so we should be down to...
We lost LMR Hybrid.
Hybrid lagged out.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
He's
so close.
Gone.
He was so close, so Zapsy looks like... Oh, man.
Wacky waving inflatable arm failing too, man.
Oh, that is unfortunate. What an unfortunate end to this race. It's been a great race. And I'm not sure what has happened to Stug today. He just does not have it. He looks okay. He just does not have the pace. I don't know if it's this track or maybe he just didn't get the time this week, but I mean, some of the other GT cars just went by him. He might have lifted as well to let him go, but he just wasn't on pace today.
Well, that's kind of anticlimactic.
Very.
I feel extremely bad for him because we're at 3.5 to go, and that just about does it, I think, because Stubbsy, I believe, looking at Roadrunner stream, is about 12,000 feet behind Breeze, and Roadrunner's about 8,000 feet behind Stubbsy. Or no, 9,500, excuse me. So I don't think anybody's going to catch Breeze in the next 3.5 minutes.
No.
Barring something catastrophic or miraculous.
Right. Well, no, because Breeze is well ahead, and Stubbsy's just hit the back straight, so... yeah, I think... ouch. I think, actually, Zabsies is probably not too happy with that either. I mean, yeah, that's a way you hate to lose a race, but it's not a very fun way to win a race either.
Exactly.
When it's taken out of the driver's hands and put into something else, that's not a good way to... Don't feel good about it. You take the win, of course. So, we'll see. As we continue our tour through the field, I think with that incident for Hybrid, that kind of put an end to any of the battles that I can find. So we are kind of here hanging out till the end. It was a good race, a lot of action, a lot of car parts, but in the end, everybody kind of spread out, and so be it. So
that's the way how the cookie crumbles, as Bruce Almighty. Is that Bruce Almighty? Is that the way the cookie crumbles? I think it is.
I'm not sure.
Somebody let me know if I'm wrong, but
So I think everybody's probably at this point just got to be on cruise control. Let's just get to the end. Not push anything or anyone. I mean, you can tell, I don't know what it looks like on your screen, Matt, but I can definitely tell the battles that these cars have been through so far today.
You know, Watkins Glen hasn't been kind to our racers today.
No.
There's only a couple cars that, I mean, LRT Breeze, I think, is one of the few cars that just looks immaculate. Minus, some tire debris, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
but here we go.
Had,
based on the Twitch timing, there's about a 15-second delay there, so we're coming down to the last couple seconds here.
Yeah, we'll have to see where Breeze is at. He is... I'm not sure his in-game timer, because he's just hit the back straight. If it's a 30-second delay, he might have... Well, no, he's probably on his final lap then. I would assume 15, that this is the white flag lap.
17, 16, 15 seconds to go in game.
Right.
I think that's it. I think
this is it as well. So LRT Breeze looks like it's going to cruise home with the win, and fitting that at the moment on track he is right behind the GT leader, Zabsy.
Bring it home, boys.
Yep. Breeze isn't even trying. He's not gonna risk it. No reason to. So just be smart about it.
Siphon, it looks like we lost Hybrid to some kind of a lag out. He was there and then he was just gone. I was watching Newfie Magic actually, and I saw that somebody had timed out, and it just happened to be Hybrid, which is really unfortunate because he had a heck of a race again, and I think this is the second time he's lagged out there right at the end.
Yeah, there's his car sitting right there in the middle of the straight. So it looks like he lagged out with, what was it, about less than 5 minutes to go?
Yep.
So here comes your GTX winner is going to be LRT Breeze. That's 2 out of 2 for him. I believe that's the end. We'll see if he pulls off here. I don't think they would have called for him to make another lap. Nope, he's done. So he is I don't know what he's doing. So he's gonna park it. You can see the GT leader behind him, Zabsy. Oh, keep it clean there, guys. So LRT Breeze takes your win. LRT Stubbsy should be coming around pretty soon. And yeah, he's got about 3 corners left. So your 2 leaders are done. So LRT Breeze with the GTX win and Zabsy with his 2nd consecutive GT win. And Zabsy has been on the podium every round so far. As we watch Stubbsy here, we'll come around to for the LRT 1-2. So good on LRT after last round at Circuit of the Americas 1-3. They improved the only way they can with 1-2. So there's that, and then the XPR Roadrunner looks like he'll probably come across. Oh, he's already parked it. So they're lining up. So XPR Roadrunner will finish out the GTX podium. Hey, bumper cars!
Just a little tap.
I mean, look at these cars. Look at this. Look at this horror. You're right, Matt. LRT Breeze is the cleanest car here. Zabsy's is pretty clean too, at least the passenger side. Oh, the Mercedes are clean. Everybody in the middle looks like they have had a hell of a time. Oh God.
Thanks.
I'm not sure what's going on. It's
Siphon for the shout out. We're doing our best.
The ultimate game of Snake here.
Oh whoa, there's Newfie Magic. Heyo.
I wonder what he's doing. This should have been race timer over, so I'm not sure what he's going to do, but I think he's the only one left on track, probably. Let's look at Desert Penguin. Let's see where he's at. People may have quit already, because now I'm showing we've got 13. No, we had 15. Okay, everybody's still here. Everybody's still here. So, there you have it. So we'll just go over LRT Breeze with the overall win. Second in GTX is LRT Stubbsy, and rounding out the GTX podium is XPR Roadrunner. The win in GT goes to Zabsy, his 2nd consecutive win. Second will happen to be a Blue Ninja Bear, moves up to 2nd, so good on him, just ran smooth all day, and the places came to him. And then Newfie Magic, actually with that incident, ended up 3rd in GT class. So good on him for making it back around and not letting it affect him. So congratulations to everybody. It was a good race. Unfortunate about the lag outs and some of the lag incidents that happened, but overall it worked pretty well. And I think that's about it from here. Watkins Glen, 2 weeks, the series finale at Hockenheim. Head over to theultimateracingnetwork.com, find the Extreme GT forums, sign up, fill those reserve slots so we can get a full grid for Hockenheim. Be ready for any car. Yes, also, Siphon, the Turn Rocket League Championship. So any of you out there watching that like Rocket League, Turn has organized a Rocket League tournament. I believe there is some, correct me if I'm wrong, some Eurasia entries still available. So go over there, sign up. XPR I will actually be in that, as long as will Matt. We will actually be playing. We won't be commentating. And
it should be interesting.
Yep. So give us a follow here. Go down below our stream. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook to keep up with all your XPR, Extreme Performance Racing news and information. Video will probably be up tomorrow, broadcast in its entirety along with rounds 1 and 2. So we will sign off here. Matt, anything you want to say?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out, drivers and viewers alike. It was an interesting Watkins Glen. Couple of unfortunate scenarios. I believe the lobby. Oh, okay, the lobby's still open. Just want to thank everybody for coming out. Obviously, we'll be round 4 in 2 weeks at Hockenheim, so mark your calendars. Or just keep an eye on our Twitter. We'll be tweeting it. I tend to tweet it a lot. So, thanks everybody for coming out. It's been a blast, and we look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks.
And Greeny, we'll see if we can get the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man out to Hockenheim just for you. So
There will not be a podcast before the finale, but I think we're going to do one right after. And we're going to try and... I don't really know all the details yet. It's really up to XPR Roadrunner how he wants to do it. But hopefully we can get some of the drivers in here, talk about the series, what they liked, so forth and so on. I know that we're having fun with it. Hopefully they are too. And, that'll be the big push for Season 2.
right.
Which, I'm not going to throw any stuff out there, but maybe it'll be here. Who knows?
No, I think we will. But anyway, that's a story for another time. We'll actually talk about that at the podcast. We'll write that down. So give us a follow everywhere to keep up with it, and we will see you in 2 weeks right here, same time. So mark your calendars, give us a follow, and for XPR, I'm Josh Eifert, and next to me is Matt Four, and we will see you then.
Hockenheim!